Setting and maintaining boundaries is key to developing a masculine aura and fulfilling your purpose as a man. It is one of the most challenging and important skills you will learn, but in doing so, you will have more success in your life, better dating options with women, and better peace of mind. What are boundaries? Boundaries are knowing what your needs and limits are and being effective in communicating those with people around you. Secondly, it's about taking responsibility for your feelings and emotions and being effective in that communication and taking ownership of it rather than putting that expectation onto other people to know what is important to you, which is weak and disempowering. The reason this is so important is because as a man, you need to stay committed and connected to your purpose. In life, there will always be external requests coming in all the time. People will always be asking you for things. They will be requesting items from you. And if you constantly give into this, you're going to be putting other people's needs above your own. When people make requests, that's centered on their needs and objectives and not necessarily yours. When you are able to say no to external requests, you're able to put your needs first and stay connected to your purpose. This is super important to your fulfillment as a man and also makes you much more attractive to women as well. Now, boundaries are important with all people, but I'm going to speak briefly about the difference between setting boundaries with men and women. For many of you, setting boundaries with women is going to be more difficult. Let's talk about men first. Setting boundaries with men is important because, again, you need to fulfill your purpose. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a male coworker and this coworker constantly comes over to your desk and he wants to talk about sports, about girls, about his life, about his family, about what he has going on, and he just wants to ham it up with you. At some point, you're going to become too distracted to actually fulfill on what's important to you, getting your own work done. Most of you are going to feel comfortable being able to say to this guy, look, man, I have my own work I need to get done, so I need you to give me some privacy so that I can focus. Okay, if that's a challenge for you, then you need to start there by working on setting boundaries with men so that you can spend more time fulfilling your purpose. In the same example, let's say the same coworker was instead a very attractive woman, and it felt like she was flirting with you every time she came over and she wanted to talk about different things. For a lot of you, you're going to be a lot more tempted to engage in conversation, give her your time and attention because of her feminine essence and what she looks like. But it is equally important that you set boundaries with her as well because, again, you're a man, you need to complete your objectives, you need to stay committed to your purpose. I'll spend the rest of this video talking about how boundaries are so important to be set with women and why some of the benefits associated with setting boundaries apply to not only benefit you, but also make you more attractive with women. Number one is self-respect. When you have boundaries, it shows that you value yourself. You have a strong sense of identity and you have a strong connection with your values. Your values don't change depending on who you're talking to. Not only does this give you greater power in your personal and professional endeavors, but it also signals to women that you are a man of high value. You're a man who values himself. And just because she's attractive and she's in your field doesn't mean that you're going to give away your attention to her just because she's there. It demonstrates that you have authenticity in your identity, which is super powerful and super attractive. And it shows that you have authority and control over your own life. Second, being able to set boundaries shows that you are a strong communicator and it makes women feel safe. When you are able to say what is important to you and establish what limits you have, she feels safe to be feminine around you because she knows that you will help contain her. Feminine energy is chaotic, or put another way, it's omnidirectional. So it flows out in all kinds of different directions. When you show that you have boundaries, you're essentially creating a container from which that energy can flow in a more productive way. If we use the analogy of a river, a woman's energy is like water, and it flows very freely downstream. And as it encounters objects, it's going to move around it and continue to flow wherever it wants. As a man, your energy is more directional, so you would be like the riverbanks and the stones in the river. You're helping guide the water to its ultimate destination, whether that be downstream to fertilize the crops or out to the ocean to create rainfall again. Third is that boundaries show confidence. It shows that you have a healthy respect for yourself. You're not a pushover. You're not a nice guy or a people pleaser. And while these behaviors may appear at times to be flattering to women, they actually really kill attraction because women are looking for a man who is strong. If you are constantly distracted by a woman's presence, she won't be able to trust that you can remain committed to your purpose, and she will feel that your energy is loose and chaotic, i.e. more feminine, and she will be less attracted to you. And finally, being able to set boundaries communicates very powerfully your value as a man. You see, women, especially beautiful women, are used to men tripping over themselves every single day to do things for them. They're used to using their beauty as a type of currency to get favor from men. And again, although they may like that validation, they are not going to be attracted to a man who is constantly trying to do things for them when they haven't earned it. Because they are ultimately seeking a valuable man, a good man, and one who is connected to himself, to his purpose, who is strong, who is not going to be led astray. That leads her to feel safer and to provide more trust into the man. Beautiful women are common and good women are rare. I really want that to sink in. I'm going to say it again. Beautiful women are common, good women are rare. So when you don't react immediately to a woman's beauty, you show that you understand this. You show that it's not enough for a woman to simply be beautiful. She still has to show her value. She still has to earn your trust and your attention. Attention is your most valuable currency as a man, and you want to be very discriminate about how you apply it. When you are selective about who you give it to, including to beautiful women, you are communicating that you value yourself, and that is very, very attractive to women. Now, I want to be clear that I'm not advocating this as a tactic to get women. Do not set arbitrary boundaries as a technique to try to obtain women. That's not authentic. That's not going to work. Everything we talk about on this channel is going to be completely authentic. You don't set boundaries to try to get women. You set boundaries because you value yourself and the life you are creating. Women are biologically programmed to seek out the best man available to them. The best man is not the one who gives them all of their time and attention. Some time and attention, yes, but not all of their time and attention. The best man is the one who is most connected to his purpose and who is building an amazing life for himself and his future family. Okay, so let's go through some real life examples of when it may be important to create some boundaries with women. And I'll use a couple different scenarios from different stages of knowing a woman. Let's say you have newly met a woman and you're interested to date her, and perhaps you've asked her out on a date. If she says something before the date, such as she wants to change the details of the date, or maybe she says, can my friend come along on the date? Or maybe she says something like, you know, I'm not really dating right now, but I'd like to get to know you as a friend. Well, you want to establish a boundary that you're not interested in becoming friend zoned with her. So in the first example, you might say something like, I picked out an amazing plan. You don't need to worry about it. Does that work for you? Or you might say, you know what? I'm really looking forward to just hanging out with you and getting to know you. And you just see what she says. Does she seem okay with that? If she tries to push back again and say, you know what? I just want to be your friend. Then you just say, okay, thanks for being honest. I'd rather not go out. But if something changes in the future, feel free to give me a call. This is super powerful. And because you are setting a boundary for yourself and saying, I'm not going to waste my time with women who aren't really interested. I'm interested in getting to know women who are interested in getting to know me. And if you're giving me signals that you're not, I'm just not going to do it. Okay? Now, sometimes that will just end the interaction and nothing more will happen. But other times, the woman will actually sense this increase in your power, and she may become more interested as a result of that. Let's give another example. Let's say you're now dating somebody for a little while and you are together, and she does something that you don't approve of. Let's say you're out and she dances very provocatively with another guy in front of you, and you don't like that. What you want to do is you want to establish a boundary about that. Not in the moment, but afterwards you're going to say, hey, I noticed when you were dancing with that guy, it was kind of provocative. I just want to let you know that that's not acceptable to me. Does that make sense? And you just leave it at that. You say it very calmly, you say it very clearly. You don't put consequences on it right now, but if it happens again, then you need to apply consequences. All right, so let's talk about how to do this in practical manners. When you want to communicate a boundary, first of all, let's talk about how you want to say it. You want to say it from the lower body, actually down in the sacral region, kind of down in the stomach region. You want it to come from there, from your sacral center, where your emotional center lives. You don't want to be up in the throat because then it'll sound kind of thin and it won't sound very authoritative. You want to communicate from the sacral center. This is going to come across as much more confident and powerful. Secondly, remain calm. Okay? As a man, masculine men remain calm under pressure. They do not get upset. They do not fly off the handle. They remain calm. So you're going to deliver this in a calm way. You're going to be very present. You're going to be looking at her straight into her eyes so that she knows that you're serious. And finally, just communicate the message, whatever it is, and then say, this is my boundary. Crossing it is unacceptable. Does that make sense to you? And you give her a chance to ask any questions or clarify the situation. In this conversation, you're not going to say, or else, don't threaten her, but think about what would be the consequence if this were to happen again. If it's a more minor offense and something that bothers you, but you don't necessarily consider a deal breaker, what you would do is to withdraw your attention. Perhaps you need to put her in timeout by not speaking to her for a day or two to let her know that her behavior is unacceptable. Or if it's serious and it's really crossing a serious boundary and it's happened more than once, you need to be willing to walk away as well. You always have to be willing to walk away from a woman, no matter what, no matter how beautiful she is, to retain your masculine aura, to retain your power as a man. All right, guys, I hope that helps. If you'd like my help developing your masculine aura and setting boundaries with women so that you can have the kind of dating and life results you want, go ahead and set up a one-on-one call, fill out the application form, and I look forward to speaking with you.